Good morning, good morning, good morning. Michael here, Deeper States Mind and Wellness. How are you? We are here in the morning entrepreneur edition of Deeper States Mind and Wellness Monday mornings. I am going to start the show a little bit different today because I want to kind of set up what it is that I'm talking about today. Being an entrepreneur is great. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of work, and it's. I want to talk today about burnout, and because many people will go through it. Reason I'm talking about this today is that one of the young gentlemen that I'm following actually on TikTok that has started his business and I think is going to do very well has been having a lot of work overload. We're going to talk about how to manage that and how to be able to go into a position where you are still doing what you have to do, but be still taking care of your mental health, right? Your mental health and wellness and your physical body as well. Because this thing is, if you're not physically fit and you're working those kind of hours, you're very prone to getting a cold, getting a flu, sinus infection, anything that is not that's immune inhibiting, right? Anything that's inhibiting your immune system, which is stress, which is not taking the time for you. So I'm gonna start our roll in a moment here. We're gonna do the intro, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about this. So that's what today's show is about. And the reason I'm doing this is that we're gonna be editing a portion of this in order to use it in something else. So thank you guys, and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Let me get the scroll going on the bottom. If you guys, anybody who's joining me would like to leave messages or leave comments, do me a favor, go over and click on the ticker that's down below. And once you put that in your browser, it'll let you ask questions here on Facebook. Alrighty, so let me get back over to our brand product. Let me get us going so we will start the show in just a little bit. Anyway, hopefully you guys will populate. Some will come in. I noticed YouTube has been asking me to populate people before I come on because they don't have time to ask their questions. So hopefully this will help you guys at YouTube and Facebook. Congratulations for being here. It's early in the morning. I see people popping in and out. So talk to you guys in a moment. All right. Good morning, guys. Sorry about that. I know I sound like I'm really congested because I'm having allergies. It's been going on for like almost 3 weeks now, or 4 weeks, a month, something like that. Anyway, I want to talk to you today. So congratulations if you have a new business. Some of you I know are new here. Some of you are just getting going with your companies. You're starting your businesses. You're getting things going for yourselves. And I want to talk a little bit about burnout and how what kind of signs can you have that you're hitting burnout. So you have a project due, it's everything is coming towards you, you've got to get everything done, you got marketing to do, you have a bank accounts to set up, you have if you're going to go with an LLC, you have to figure out your LLC, you have to figure out you're doing business as, DBA. You have to open up mailboxes, you need to set up your bank accounts so that they match the IRS information. So there's a lot going on, right? Especially at the very beginning. And I want to talk a little bit of overload because I'm starting to see people do that. And let's talk about what that is. So if you have a schedule that is not giving you any time off, some people can operate like that very well. I've had clients that they run major corporations, massive businesses. And what they're doing is it's like, they hit a point where they don't have any time off. Problem with that is that yes, you're getting a lot done. You're probably being more productive, and you're becoming over structured to the point that everything that you have to do has to be perfect. And that's a natural evolution of business, right? I mean, that's natural part of the mind is that, oh, this is great. It's going really well. It's a drive at first. It becomes this, how should I word it? It becomes a drive, but it's more of a euphoria, I guess. It's more like a adrenaline rush. But what happens is it's going on so fast that eventually the adrenaline rush doesn't have time to hit the lower levels and to calm down. So a lot of entrepreneurs will find that they're going for 5, 6 months just burning the candle at both ends, right? The wick is burning on both sides and it's going to hit the middle at some point. A lot of times people just start feeling massive headaches, or they just feel exhausted, or they wake up feeling tired, or they start looking at something and they're like, is this all worth it? That question comes into play sometimes when even when things are going beautifully, when things are going perfectly well with your company. The problem is that if you're not giving yourself downtime, your body's not healing, your mind's not healing. That adrenaline rush is exhausting on your body. Okay, it the adrenaline rush 24/7 is hard, and there's times where then it leads into not being able to sleep properly because you're thinking about things, you're trying to get things done all night long, you're trying to fix the things that need to be fixed during the daytime, which you did not accomplish. Um, it's very important that you are aware of this, because if you don't understand what's happening to you, it can feel like a meltdown. You can feel overwhelmed. You can feel like you're just under so much pressure. You just want to sit down and cry. You can't keep going anymore. You don't know how to even work with employees. If you have employees, you're just like so out of sorts. And some people are luckily for some people that happens, and they recover from that very quickly. They get the understanding of, oh, I'm overworked, or I'm overtaxing myself, or I'm not meeting goals now because I don't have enough time. I better make some time. But most of the time what happens is that we don't take that time, and we don't even acknowledge what's happening. It's like a horse with blinders on, right? You got the blinders on, you're trucking along and you're not noticing anything else going on. Family's falling apart, home's falling apart. You know, your lifestyle's falling apart. You're not meeting friends anymore. You're not going out to dinner. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not going to the spa. Maybe you need to get a haircut. Maybe you need to go, get your nails done. Maybe you need to go to a beauty salon, spend 4 hours there. Whatever the entrepreneur needs for mental health and well-being is crucial, especially during the staging process of beginning to start your business. Keep in mind that at the very beginning is the most busy time you'll ever be, because you've got so many irons in the fire, and everything has to be working in tandem with each other. Otherwise, you're going to hit a point where it's just so overwhelming that nothing's really connecting anymore. And this is pretty much past the point where you figure out what your business name is. You've got your, whether you're going to be an LLC or you're going to be a sole proprietor. Usually around that period of time, you're starting to see clients, you're starting to grow, you're like excited about the clients. Now you know that if you do this and you add more of this and this to it, you're going to get more and more clients, or you're going to get more and more revenue. If you build this certain product and you double it times 10, you're going to get times 10 income on that one product. So that's a time when your mindset is like, I just got to push through this. I got to keep going, keep going, keep going. Usually that's usually around the third or fourth month of your company being created and being put into place, and the action, of growing and of understanding what's going to happen. They say that businesses don't last that are not going to last will fall apart within 5 years. And I think that's probably true to an extent nowadays, because things are changing, right? And there's no reason anymore why you should be so stressed out that you're not taking time to take care of yourself. And I'll build a picture of that in a moment of what that should look like. But there's a lot of options these days. I mean, you can locally farm out your needs, right? You can find somebody locally. You can go to college, find somebody who's a writer who just needs writing experience, and they'll write articles for you, at a low rate, low cost. You're a new beginner. You don't have a lot of cash flow in your coffers. Some do, but most of you don't. And the idea with that is that if you don't have that much money in your coffers, then what do you do? How do you make things happen? You're the man, you're the woman, you're doing it all. So outsource yourself. Go into online services that provide people to do things for you, locally or domestically or offshore. Bring people on board to help you to do the things, not necessarily the things that you don't like to do, but the things that you have to do and don't. There's certain things you can't delegate, right? I mean, you're not going to be able to delegate building your LLC. You're going to have to do that yourself. You're going to be able to delegate setting up your bank accounts. You're going to have handle that yourself. But writing an article for your blog next week, can you outsource that? Absolutely. having somebody work on the website and tweaking maybe the way your front page looks, absolutely outsource it. Um, for us, going in and trying to figure out what the perfect blend for my soaps were, right? I mean, I went in and I worked on it, worked on it. And then I finally have a friend who that's what he does. That's who he taught me how to make soaps. I went to him, I said, look, I'm trying to get all this other stuff done. Can you help me with this? I want a blend that does this and does this and does this. I want a blend that has a lot of lather. I want a blend that has a good smell to it. I want a blend that has high rich oils in it. And he worked on that for me. It took him a week and he worked on it and he gave me a blend that is now our main soap product, right? Do I have to wave back and forth on that? I don't. And I am going to go into summer blends eventually, but that has lasted since the last winter until this entire it lasted the whole season. So if you're going to change blends, that's up to you. If you're going to like for you, if you're going to change something in your business, I mean, know that there's going to be work done to that. You're going to spend time on that. So you have to allocate what you can do and outsource what you can't do, right? And what you think is important, because a lot of times, I mean, I would never say, oh my God, outsource and people are doing it now. Don't outsource your taxes. Don't outsource your deductibles. Thing is that there's apps out there that are doing it, and then there's companies that are offshore that'll go in and just kind of put it all together for you, and you submit it. I'm not comfortable with that, and I don't know. I mean, some of you may be. My coffee cup looks nightmarish inside, huh? And I have coffee that I got that's like round, and it's crazy because it's like really thick. It's like I'm drinking octane right now. But so yeah, so learn what you can outsource and learn what you have to do for yourself. I try not to do more than 3 or 4 things a day, and I make a list of that. And I have clients. You got to remember, my service base is service, right? Your base may not be service, may be product based. But still, you're going to have people that are putting orders in for those products. So when do you fill them? You got to fill those orders. You got to be able to come back in and start marketing and work on another flyer and work on something else. So welcome to entrepreneurship. It is busier than you've ever been in your life. You're doing more than you'll ever get done working for somebody. It's now 9 to 5 becomes, 16-hour days once in a while. And that's okay, because the long term, I want to say the long term effect of owning your own business is very different. But if you're not aware of the signs of burnout, it becomes ugly for everyone. All right. So let's talk about those signs. So initially what could be happening is that you're just feeling like you're really tired, you're exhausted, you're not catching your breath, right? You're like, oh, I got so much to do. And you're doing it because the mind, remember, like we talked about, it becomes adrenaline rush. That adrenaline rush is going to get you through what's going on with you. The only difference is that you may be slower at what you're doing. Maybe you're just not feeling well and you don't know why. Maybe you're having thoughts of everything failing, right? Well, I did that and that didn't work out so well, and I need to change that. And what if I did? How if I shouldn't have spent so much time on that, or I didn't spend enough time on that. So that's the initial start of that. And then it turns into getting into arguments with people. Maybe, not people aren't meeting your expectations around you. You're not, the design that you're creating is not looking the way it should. And you're working on that for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, and it's still not coming out the way it should be. You've got people calling you, wanting to fulfill orders with you, but you can't fulfill them because you're too busy doing other things, or you're afraid to take on another job. That's when you can tell that the stress is getting heavy on you, that it's becoming built into your nervous system, right? You're starting to question everything. You're starting to doubt everything. You're wondering or worrying whether or not you're in the right track to fix these things. Another part of that is that you finally just melt down. You're like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't take it. And you just lay on your couch and you take a long nap and you wake up and you're just still exhausted. So that's burnout. Once you hit burnout, the only thing you can do at that point is to take a couple days off and detach yourself completely from the business. Sometimes it takes a week, but what I would say is do what you need to do for your mental health, because if not, you're not going to continue doing what you're doing, and you're useless, right? You're useless to your company, useless to yourself, useless to your employees, and useless to what the brand is that you're trying to build. So the way to not have burnout is to set these parameters in place, to set these governors in place, right? So if you're finding that you work 9 to 5, and that's okay to do, and it's working for you, you come in your office, you're running everything from 9 to 5 o'clock. You're working on things, you're working on clients, you're working on products, you're working on advertising, working at outsourcing, right? Because that's a job in its own. I'll tell you that I have to watch my outsource people all the time because the two things happen: either they become complacent and don't do anything, they're not charging you, but they don't do anything, or they're doing things on their own and not creating the product the way you want it to. So it's still better to have it set up so that you're just observing as opposed to having your finger in everything. And that's tough for a lot of people. I'll tell you, that was tough for me at the very beginning of this. I wrote all my articles at the start of this. I started, my own, doing all my footwork, everything. And back when I started this 25 years ago, there was not the ability to outsource like there is now. So build it in. So build it in. So if 9 to 5 works for you, great. But you still have to have time off in there. So maybe it's every Sunday you take off. Maybe it's every Saturday, Sunday you take off. Maybe it's every Friday, Saturday, Sunday you take off. You got to know what you need for yourself. And the only way to understand that is to know what your productive periods are. So many times what I've been learning, and what I learned for myself even, is that there's a productive period in my moment, in my day, right? So for me, it's usually early morning. It's usually from about 6 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Probably because I do fasting. I have this window that there's a mental clarity, that there's just a clear moment of me being able to get things done. And you'll learn that as you keep going into the entrepreneurship lifestyle. You'll find these opportune moments where you're just like, wow, I'm most productive at this hour. This 3 hours are the most productive in my life. I can get the most done here. So utilize that. So book yourself around those times. So let's say that you're a woman and you need a haircut and you want your nails done. You got to go to a beauty salon and you haven't in a while because you've been so busy. Prioritize that. So start blocking that out as a regular self-care day, right? So if it takes you a half day, that half day is going to be your moment of going in and luxuriating in the nails being done, your hair being done, a pedicure, getting yourself to where the pedicure and the nails and the hair just are your beauty day. That's a time for you to walk out in that half day and come out and be like, oh, I look so good, I feel so good, right? And at times that's not enough, because now you're doing that. It's kind of, a friend of mine told me the other day, he says, I'm working really hard. I got more money than I've ever had. I bought more clothes than I've ever had, but I have nowhere to go and nobody to share them with. So you have to block that time in as an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you're not going to fulfill yourself, and that need of fulfillment, that human contact, that moment of being able to be out there and move around people, and you'll start getting adrenaline rushes from doing network marketing groups, from being online programs, online channels that you're just watching new information, learning. But that's not downtime for you. It becomes part of the business. So it's really, really important that you understand that downtime is crucial. What's that look like for you? Is downtime going to be just at the beauty salon that half day? Is that sufficient? Or are you yearning for that need of saying, okay, well, I spent all this money on looking beautiful and I have nowhere to go. I'm going back to my office, or I'm going back in on the field to do whatever I'm doing with the business. So give yourself those full days. Make sure that you're giving yourself at least every 2 weeks, you got to take off 2 days. All right. It's very, very important. Now, if you're a high-end entrepreneur, or you're seasoned and you're making money and you're building new brands, new products, you're working on development, you're working on labeling, that may be something that you have to commit yourself to and say, okay, you know what? I know that in six months I can plan a big vacation, and plan it first. So go in and book your vacation in 6 months. Make the destination be where it's going to be. Take care of all of that one day. That way, 6 months down the road, you know that that's your break period. So between now and those 6 months, you can work as hard as you need to work to get through all that, and then come out the other end with an idea that I have those. It's been 6 months of hard work. I've worked day and night, and now I can go ahead and just disconnect. And if you're going to disconnect like that, then like I said, this is for a seasoned business person, somebody who's already been operating and has things in place, because you don't want, the worst thing you can do is have a new business and walk away from it. And that's why I'm saying that there's two ideas to look at, right? If you're just starting your company and you're just starting to get going, like you're doing most of the work yourself, get it. It may be 2 days every 2 weeks, but you got to block that in there, so that you have those moments to look forward to. Um, One thing with burnout at work is that it's different when you're with an employer, because you can ask for time off, right? You can go on mental stress leave. If you're working for yourself, there's no mental stress leave. You're going to fall behind on your business. You're going to lose the traction that you built will be lost if you're working on not being able to get out of bed, if you're working on not being able to get projects done because you can't focus, you can't concentrate. So taking care of your whole well-being, mental, emotional, and physical and spiritual, right? I mean, if you've been a spiritual person your whole life and that's very crucial to you, make time for it. Build it into the production schedule of your life. One thing I've gotten really good at, and I think it's very, very important, is that I'm ADD, and I know that I don't take medication for it because I learned how to cope with it on and off throughout my life. The key element is that you use a calendar, block everything out, and I mean everything. Block out people's birthday parties, block out, even if it's a weekend and you're off on weekends, block it. Put it on a calendar. This is gonna make it much easier for you. One, to get in the service of always doing something that is a calendar, right? There's I think a mental expectation of, it's in my calendar, I have to do it. If it's not on my calendar, then I don't have to do it, right? So give yourself the time to say, I'm going to maybe, Sunday mornings, Sunday nights, I'm going to block out my next week, and 1 week at a time, right? If you see your future too far in advance, you're not going to attain it. And if you don't attain it, then the mindset is, oh my God, I failed. So the key is to pat yourself for the small things you do on a daily basis, but try to go about no more than 30 days in advance of what your business is doing. You can foresee things that are coming down the road, that are stable, right? That are functioning and operating in the company already. So, and what I mean by that is, for instance, let's say that the LLC is set up already. It doesn't activate for 30 days, so we know in 30 days the LLC should be active. That's something I can come back and revisit. So I'm going to put it into place, get everything done, paperwork, everything else, let it sit. I don't need to bother anymore about that. But if you put a tickler in your calendar, or you put the reminder in your calendar that 30 days are up, got to check on that, you can look 3 days before, incorporate that into your weekly list, and find out where it takes place in that week. All right, because it's not crucial, right? It's happening on its own. So that's probably my biggest takeaways for you guys, is that know where you're at, know your company size, know how much you've gotten done. At the beginning, you're going to feel like, what did I do? It was easier to go clock in and just go to work. It was easier to just clock in and just do what I had to do here at the office, and clock out and go home and forget about what was happening here. But I'm going to tell you, 9 to 5 jobs are the most unfulfilling jobs in your life. You will go through the process of working and feel like you never owned anything, and that's just coming from experience. And I had beautiful jobs. I had great things, wonderful things happening when I was working for employers, even in high school. The thing is that you're only going to go so far. You're not going to ever break the glass ceiling of what you believe you can do. And one of the biggest things out of everything that I've ever learned about any of the entrepreneurs I worked with, or even my therapy clients, at the end of life, nobody looks back and says they did too much. They always look back and say they didn't do enough, and that they wish they would have tried something. So I'd rather everybody go out and who hears my voice, go out there, try something. Try it. You succeed, you've done something. Try it, you fail. You've not failed, you've learned something. So when you do it again, you take that new experience with you and you rebuild upon it. Now, and I've talked about risk management for people that are business owners, and you got to know your risk management, man. If you got 3 kids that's sitting at home and a wife that doesn't work, you probably want to consider either saving a lot of money so that way you can launch yourself, and when you launch yourself you have padding to take care of yourself, or you need to discuss how old are the kids. Is the wife ready to go out and work to make this dream come true? Is it her dream also? Maybe it's not her dream. Maybe she's completely satisfied where she's at. So that risk management is very important, and you have to know what your risk management is. But that's another topic. I mean, really, burnout is my topic today, and I want to kind of stick with that. So the biggest takeaway is going to be that you block your time out. Give yourself time, whether it is going to be for you to go to a day spa and luxuriate, whether it's going to be to go get your nails and your hair done. And maybe for some women that's enough. Maybe for some men that's enough. They go get a new haircut. They feel clean. They feel refreshed. They get their mustache cleaned up, their beard shaved up, and kind of tucked in a little. And that's good. They feel good. They feel great. And that day of experience is enough to get them to feel that way. For me, I find it's not. For me, I find that, that's kind of like daily maintenance and daily care for me. You got to get your hair cut. You got to clip your nails. You got to look good. You got to brush your teeth. For me, I need something else. I need a actual either vacation or to go somewhere. I'm remote, so sometimes my clients don't know where I'm coming to them from. As long as I have a good internet and I can use, that's all I really need is a good internet, good pair of headphones, and I'm on the go, right? So if you have a business that's not allowing you to do that, then you need to really highly calendar yourself and calendar those times off. Calendar the times off that you want to take care of yourself, that self-healing, that self-care. Otherwise, you will have burnout. And burnout's pretty rough. I mean, it's some people don't recover from burnout and decide they're not going to do a business and go get a regular job. So anyway, that's what I'm leaving you with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you think somebody around you is suffering from business, from their entrepreneurship, or even burnout from work, share this with them. Share this anyway. Get it out there. The algorithms of Facebook have changed quite a bit. So if you don't like and share, it kind of just sits and we don't really get any traction. So do me a favor. If you're watching this, please like this. Please share this with somebody who you think is an entrepreneur starting a new business and needs to know this information. I've been in business for over 25 years, and I'm willing to share everything I have with you guys as far as getting you guys going and started. I love my young clients that are working with me because it's great, because it's very rewarding to be able to give them something so that it helps them down the road and they get their business going and their business is successful and fulfilling them, just not financially. Because I think being a hypnotist and NLP practitioner, I'll tell you that, money doesn't really make you happy. I was reading an article the other day that was saying that people who make $75,000 a year and start going above that are happier if they enjoy what they're doing. They love what they're doing. That 75,000 could stay at 75,000. They can do it for the rest of their lives and be totally content. But if they're miserable at 75,000, miserable at 150,000, miserable at $1 million a year, what happens is that miserable doesn't go away. It just becomes part of being miserable, right? So love what you do. Take care of yourself. Give yourself the time to heal in between big projects, and keep it going. Keep that truck moving. Keep that train going forward. Work burnout is like hitting a wall. Your train's going to hit the wall and you're going to derail, and could take you a long time to get back on track. So take care of that at the beginning by putting in those block times. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody joining me today. And this will be used in a marketing plan that we're putting together. So share it. Let people who who you love that are business owners, let them help them understand what we're here for, and maybe they can join us and start following us and start partaking in this. So if you're a small business owner or medium business owner, or you're even seasoned business owner, please join this group. DM me, we'll get you into a private group, and in that way you guys can, eventually these will come off of here and we'll just have those. But right now, because we're putting a program together, these are being done every Monday. So all right, you guys, thank you so much. Take care and have a great week. Go out there, make some money, make some good friends, and start a wonderful, prosperous business. Bye now.
I think these videos are brilliant. and I'm sure you will like them too. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell.